Morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. You can see VIX is up 42%, more than 42%, a massive bounce here. It's going to probably go and fill this gap at 27. You can see there was a gap here. If I go to 1 hour chart on exactly this, let's find where this day here, on this day on 19th of December, we had a massive gap down, and this big gap VIX is trying to now go and fill that gap. So that's where we're going. That means if we look at VIX and do analysis, that means we have still a couple of more days of negative price action. You can see futures are down. I expect more sell off, and you can see SPX cycle analysis, it's playing out. I was expecting it to top and then coming down to fill some of these gaps. There's a gap here around 6051. There's a gap here, gap here. There are three massive gaps here. And also on NDX, you can see multiple gaps and also this finally ultimate pre-election gap, which will be filled at some point. Let's review in details, guys. Please hit the like button. It only takes 1 second to hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate, and share this channel with friends and family. All right, so let's go and start with our buy and sell zones. Let's go back here. You can see we this news came on DeepSeek AI, which is like I think 1/10 of a cost of all this chat GBT and the NVIDIA chips they are using. So that's the reason NVIDIA is crashing. All the chip stocks are crashing. You can see NVIDIA is down almost 12%, AVGO is down 11%, Micron is down 8%, SMCI down. You can see all chip stocks are getting smashed really bad, and that's dragging the market down. All right, and you can see we are right now looking for a bounce. We are near, like, we went below standard deviation and we got a bounce. It happened. This is like probably like maybe 1 to 5% we see that this happens. This is a very rare occurrence. This is like a massive sell-off, but usually we are now in the buy zone. Okay, so this is the idea. We do expect some bounce, but then you have to be very careful and take profits, because we cannot just rely on one indicator. This is only for day trading. Longer term, you can see on a daily chart with all these massive gaps to fill on S&P 500, you know that we are going lower. Okay, this is the live market here. You can see we are finding support. This is futures finding support on these multiple moving average. But even if we come here, there's still a lot of gaps to the bottom. All right, you can see this here gap is around 58.48, and also some people are drawing also like a bull flag. Like if I draw a trend line like this, right? Okay, so this is a trend line of a bull flag, if you want to say that, right? A flag here. So it could come all the way down here to backtest and then even go lower. So at minimum, so from the top here, which we got from the top to the bottom of a back test and gap fill, we're looking for around 3% dump. And we are pretty much there right now. So if they want to really, we can see we are pretty much there, tagging this bull flag line. All right, but I will be a bit careful just because, and Nasdaq has still a lot way lower to go, because they have multiple gaps all the way until election gap here. So, and also the chart on NVIDIA, which you will see very soon, you can see it's opening here below all previous lows. So that means there are multiple. There's also a gap here around 119. So there's still room to go. And then that's where this 200 EMA SMA is coming. So I still think NVIDIA, it's down almost 11.5%. It can still go around 5 to 6% more lower. And I think the major support is here. In my opinion, if I go to weekly chart, major support of NVIDIA is somewhere here in $80 area. All right. This is where it bounced again. And again, 46 is also, well, let's not go there that far yet. There's some support here where it is right now. And then it's going to be, next support is going to be here. Sorry, give me a second. I'm getting a call. All right, so let's see what gaps this will fill. So let's go back to daily chart, and you can see in terms of buy sell zone, all of these are in the nice area for buying, looking for a bounce, but that bounce could fail. So just be very careful here. Even on Bitcoin, you can see getting a bounce, fell below all the moving averages. Sorry, not all the standard deviation, and now again in the buy zone here. So we'll see how this thing goes. And if I want to see long-term chart, which is an indication of how things are, eventually I'm looking for this green line to touch. Okay, so just keep that in mind. RSI still want to see this green line at the bottom. You can see we came very close to top red line. You can see here actually, if I zoom in, we slightly touched it, just touched it, and then had a nice dump here. You can see every time we come near this top red line, that's usually a very good area to short. You can see every time here and time here. You can see every time we come here, you can see top here, top here, top here. Now again, we're getting a top. So this is also a very good indication. You have to keep that in mind. And now where we are either looking for more sell-off to go in this bottom green line in the buy zone, or a bounce to go back to in this red line to sell. So right now we don't do anything. We wait for RSI to go to extreme levels, and then we decide where to go. So from here, we could still go, just remember, we could still go touch this top 6.2% to 63.50, or we can go at the bottom from where we are. First green line is around 8% away, second green line is around 13% away. So you can still go and touch 54.84. So just keep that in mind, broader perspective. You have to be aware of all possible scenarios and plan accordingly. All right. Okay, so let's now move on to, let's go to Dow Jones, probably because we already seen all the other indices. So you can see Dow Jones also uh, opening on a gap down. So you can see I already marked a yellow line gap, so it's going to be a gap down here with all these gaps to fill. IWM also opening on a gap down with all this gap. This massive gap should be filled at some point. We can see big gap here, so just keep that in mind. Hang Seng Index. Sorry, give me a second. All right, so you can see Hang Seng Index 9 counts buy signal here and now going higher. Spent some time, broke out, back test, and now going higher. China is pumping because of this DeepSeek AI news, and look like it wants to go fill this top gap first, 21,285. That's what's going, and you can see all Chinese stocks are like massive pump. Alibaba, massive breakout out of all moving averages, breaking out here. Baidu breaking out here, so you can see massive pump on Chinese stocks. So that's good. Finally, China is in progress. Toronto Stock Exchange, we'll see how it goes. Looking for a bounce here, looks like. We'll see when that comes. And let's keep going to bond market. Bond market also breaking out finally. Still in front of some resistance, but it's finally looks like it wants to go out. And now in front of this 50 EMA and SMA, red and yellow lines. TLT also looks like gap up, so we'll see how this thing plays out. But just remember, there's still resistance here. Okay, this whole area is acting as a resistance. Needs to really break out massively. Let's go to crude oil. Crude oil getting 7 counts buy signal. Last time we got 789. Nice bounce here. 7 counts bounce here. Here we had a failure. Here we had a slight chop around and then eventually bounce. So this 778 here and now bounce. So again, this is not a perfect indicator, but it's telling that this reversal might be about to happen, especially with the big gap here on crude oil. Here you can see massive gap down. So looking for that gap to fill. Indecision candle so far. They still whole day left. We'll see how it goes, but indecision, and then if it decide to pump up, this is probably the area they're going to bounce. This is where 200 EMA and SMA lines are coming, so this is acting as a support. CNQ down, but looking for all these yellow lines are top gaps. There's also a green line here at the bottom, but let's see how this thing shapes up. Looking for a massive rally here, but all depends on crude oil as well. Again, let's go to natural gas. I was expecting natural gas to keep going down seasonality wise, looking for more weakness to fill at least this gap 3.37, and then we will decide if it's going to go lower after that to fill these other gaps or not. That will be later on to be decided. Gold, you can see gold also just very massive bull trend. Any dips will be bought. So let's see, just buy the dip. Not interested in doing anything in gold here. Silver also holding above 200 moving average right now. Copper also looking good as soon as it came to this buys yellow box, just bouncing. Sugar, again, finally, massive V-shaped recovery. I was telling this is the area you want to be buying, support area. You can see it's 9 counts buy signal and just bouncing straight up. Wheat, you need to wait for it to close above these moving average 200 EM SMA. Corn looking very nice. By the dip, it can go to this 20 moving average, so just keep that in mind. Dollar index also in the nice buy zone here, so let's see if it can bounce from here. Enbridge, sorry, you don't need to worry about those. Apple already green, so Apple is helping coming to this 200 moving averages and then now holding the line here. In terms of FANG stock, not much sell-off is done. Meta also now backtesting this. So nothing much. I don't know. I think it's mostly chip stocks selling off. Other FANG stocks are holding okay. Amazon, you can see it was a gap up, now coming back to fill that gap here. Google and Microsoft. Google has still ways to go. This big gap, I'm looking for that gap to fill. Microsoft also, you can see came back down near 200 SMA, but there's also a big gap here, so it could come all the way down to fill this gap eventually. So you're gonna probably get a nice, a lot of good opportunities to buy, in my opinion. NVDA, I don't want to touch because I think it's going more lower, at least to this 200 EMA SMA, 119. AVGO also had big earnings gap that has to be filled, so maybe they're going to try to fill this gap, take this as an opportunity to fill it. Tesla also has 300 area, okay, 340s, that's the area you want to be filling the gap. AMD going down. I think 112 is where it should stop, but other than that, mostly tech stocks selling off. MicroStrategy going lower. Still some gaps here they want to fill. The gap is around 344, then there's a gap around 329. Then I think there's a big gap here on 270, so eventually all these gaps will be filled in my opinion. So we'll see how market pays up. Okay guys, that's it for today. If there's any particular stock you want me to review, please put a comment. And if you want to know levels of and what stocks I'm buying and selling, you can join my channel. There's a link in the description. Let me know your user ID in the comment, and then I share these levels every hour with my subscriber, which is very helpful, and you can make a lot of money. All right, guys, take care. Bye.